encrypted reality.
Hello everyone, welcome to Encrypted Reality. My name is Darren Bates and I'm going to be your host today. On this channel we're going to be going over the UAP cryptids, and in cryptids I will put Greys, Nordics, all of the type of beings and that are supposedly out there in UAP and UFO lore. So that's what we're going to be exploring. And today the name of this one is Why AAro Has No Chance Against Immaculate Constellation. Okay, so before I get started, I'm not going to really go over this time exactly what got me into starting the channel, but just to briefly say what it is. It's just, I feel like everybody should be putting in their voice. There's a lot coming out. There's possibly even more coming out from what we're hearing. And, we may be heading into disclosure. So we do need a lot of people putting their voices into this fight, because it does seem like there's a fight between who. We're not really that sure. But that's part of what we're trying to figure out. And part of this fight is what I can see is AAro and what other power there is that is in control of Immaculate Constellation. So, first and foremost, what is Immaculate Constellation? Well, as you know, that is something that Michael Schellenberger put out, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week or two ago, where it's saying that there is a program that has videos, images, things such as that, clearer than day, not the fuzzy stuff that we typically see, things that would definitely convince the layperson that we're not alone, or that this is something that should be taken 100% seriously. Now, what I'm going to get into is something that I noticed when reading the report, the Immaculate Constellation report that was put out, that I have not heard too many people actually speak about. And to me, this was one of the things that really stuck out to me. And it's really surprising that I don't hear a lot more people talking about it, because this in itself would be the reason why I think that this program could possibly be something that chokes AAro away, or chokes AAro out from being able to do its job. And the part that I'm talking about is where it says, let me see. Okay, so here it goes. It says sophisticated internal information security controls are a major part of the Immaculate Constellation program, which enforces compartmentalization by detecting, quarantining, and transferring UAP and RV, reproduction vehicle, imagery collection incidents before they are circulated within the military intelligence enterprise. So, again, to me, that seems like a program that's built into the systems that collect this data, the videos, the pictures. And when this program, from what I'm reading, it seems like, when this program identifies something that's anomalous, it automatically quarantines it, and then it shoots it possibly to a secret server so that the military intelligence enterprise will never see it. Now, who's the military intelligence enterprise? To me, that would be AAro and other, maybe it could be our own armed forces or some other places that, investigate these types of things. But, with AAro, so when I'm looking at some of the stuff that AAro talks about that it found, and I'm going to go over some other things that I found out in the AAro report, but when I'm looking at what they found and how they were really pushing to discredit some of the things like the Go Fast video and things along those lines, I'm wondering, like, when they get these reports, the ones that they're actually looking at, the videos that they're able to get their hands on, I mean, are these things that the program that's Immaculate Constellation, these are things that it saw as not, anomalous? Is this just something that it thought, or it identified as something that could possibly be explainable? And the only things that we're actually getting our hands on is garbage. Things that might look a little bit funny to the human eye, but ultimately can be explained. So to me, that seems like a huge problem, when it comes to investigating this, considering that there's already a program out there that is meant to grab these images and these videos prior to AAro or anyone else even putting their hands or their eyes on it. So for me, I would think that the most important thing for AAro to do would be to look into Immaculate Constellation. Because according to what I'm reading here, when it says that, this is what the job of it is, I don't think it can effectively do its job if the information isn't there anymore. Okay, so it would seem that you would have to rely more on human intelligence than the other centered data that they're able to get from some of the technology that we have out there monitoring the skies, the water, and things like that. So, and, another big thing is, once this came out, and, of course, the name was probably immediately changed, according to Senator Gillibrand. So getting to know more about that in a skiff, that seems like that may be a little bit difficult. And ultimately, it might seem like AAro may be playing a little bit of whack-a-mole, where it's just getting information that really isn't worth anything. Just like how, George Knapp says, they're better them at doing their job than we are at doing ours. Okay. So with AAro, I was looking at some of the things that AAro was set out to do, and this was very interesting to me. So part of what AAro was supposed to be putting out there, it was an analysis of data relating to UAP collected through, this is on page 4 of the AAro report, geospatial intelligence, which is GeoInt, signals intelligence, human intelligence, which is HumanInt, and measurement and signatures intelligence, which is MassInt. Now, if you go a little bit further down, it says, analysis of the data related to UAP is discussed in the following sections. During the reporting period, AAro did not receive any UAP reports collected through National Geointelligence, Signals Intelligence, or MassInt platforms. I mean, so to me that says the only type of intelligence that they got was human intelligence during this time period. So that's very interesting to me, because that means that none of these platforms that have been collecting data, none of this information AAro was able to get its hands on and actually analyze. And that was 3 out of the 4 areas where they were supposed to be taking a look at. So when we look at, the fact that they say AAro will continue to strengthen IC partnerships to increase national reporting, it seems like they're already even having issues getting the information that they need, where they feel like they have to strengthen their partnerships, which is interesting to me, considering that we're talking about the Pentagon, we're talking about the Department of Defense, we're talking about a chain of command. I would think that if you had something that was tasked by the Pentagon to look into those things, it's not a question of whether or not you should have cooperation. I would think that it seems like that they don't have as much say or pull, as they'd like to have. But if you go to Lou Elizondo book, Eminent, one of the things that he says was, from the moment I came on board the team, I learned that the Air Force was stubbornly and mysteriously uncooperative on the topic of UAP. Their resistance was irritatingly real. I cannot enumerate the times we sent carefully crafted emails to Air Force liaisons requesting information or follow-up details on UAP incidents, only to have the requests denied or ignored entirely. So, I mean, is that what's going on behind the scenes? You know, is that why they aren't getting any information from any of the platforms? That's just something that popped up in my head that, you know, and if you look at it from, you know, from the perspective of what Lou said in Imminent, it doesn't seem like it's too easy getting this information out of people. You know, even when you listen to the congressmen and women, you know, when they talk, or the senators, when they talk about trying to get some of this information, if you don't know the specific names.
Didn't really have any real hopes, because that's what we're getting. I told somebody it's like all these guys are like, when I talk to them, they're like looking down the barrel of a .22 rifle. It's just very narrow and very straight. And they're honestly I feel like they're telling the truth within their limited scope, but it is very compartmentalized.
If you don't know the specific names of the programs that you're trying to get information for, you're not going to get the information. They say it's like a big runaround. So that's all I had for today. That's my first one. And I wanted people to look into this with Immaculate Constellation, and looking into the fact that this seems like some type of overarching program that's somehow linked into all of the signal intelligence gathering data of the U.S. That the U.S. has, which is scary, you know, because to me, when I see that, I think, wow, they could do that with all of the military data. Well, could they possibly do it with your phones and, you know, things like that, your computers, all those types of things? So it's a very interesting thing, because if that is what Immaculate Constellation is, that is quite a program. I mean, that is quite a powerful program.
Thank you for watching Encrypted Reality. Like, share, and subscribe for more of Encrypted Reality.